up, y'all? I want to talk to you about the narcissist and a couple of things. One is object constants. With them not having object constants, it's kind of like they can either be happy with you, meaning like you either give them positive narcissist supply, or if you say injure them, then all of a sudden they have to get negative supply. It's like they can never see you as like their partner that they love, but maybe they're disappointed in because they've been injured. Like a normal person would be like, well, like, hey, like my girlfriend or my spouse or whoever, my, whatever, even it could be a best friend, it could be a family member, it doesn't matter. They either look at you in the light of you're positive in their light, or you're negative in their light. They could never see both. Like, well, I got injured today because you upset me or you said something mean to me, but I still, even though I still can see you, that, we've been through thick and thin together and I love you. You know what I mean? They can't do that. So it's kind of like, that's where you always get this hot and cold as well. And so some of it is, part of, control, as far as like when they talk about all of the endocrine system going up and down, up and down, up and down. But a lot of it, to some degree, is the construct. The construct causes all of this. So when you adapt a construct, see, it's kind of like with the narcissist versus humanity, okay? I always say we're humanity and they're the narcissist, okay? And so it's kind of like if you were to build a computer and you put like, the chip in, and the chip that makes the computer, process things right. The narcissist is like the computer where, the chip that makes everything run right is the one that it's the chip represents your construct, is what I'm getting at. The construct is like the chip that they received, their construct, the construction that was built around their childhood is all built on telling them what to do, and it's always backwards from humanity. And so it's not like, sometimes, a lot of times they do manipulate, but a lot of times it's kind of like built into the hard drive. It's not really, I would say, like the software is what they can control, that they add to it. But a lot of times, man, some of this stuff is just instinct, and instinct is coming from, the hardware, not the software. And so I think like in combination, you have a manipulative person that's also has instincts that are manipulative or unbalanced or opposite of humanity. And so when you think of object constants, it's like you can only be someone they love in your sight or someone they hate in your sight. They can't have both. And that's why they will, they'll stay with you during the times that you feed their supply positive. But when you injure them, that's why they have to devalue you and discard you and eventually discard you. Or they have to get to a point to where they're going to devalue you, and then they're going to do things behind your back to get you back. So they may not, you be in constant devalue mode, but they're going to still do things without breaking up with you, as long as you don't break up with them. So that's where the narcissist relationship can last longer, is if you will accept, basically no boundaries, and you will refuse to break up with them, then a lot of times you can be in a long-standing devalue mode as they do duper's delight, as they cheat on you, and as they do things behind your back to sabotage you and then laugh about it behind your back, and work around you the whole time. But outside of that, it's kind of like, that's why when you get in a, for instance, a disagreement with them and you check them and they go into like a rage mode, also what you hear is all these hateful things that they do to devalue you and throw you into the ditch. And the reason why they do that is because they're going from, they love you to, or not they love you, but they see you in a good light, the white light, to darkness. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's why they say there's no gray area with them. It's white or black. And that's what they mean by that. It's object constants. It's like, you're either, I guess, a good object or a bad object. And so when you flip that, when you check them, or you get in a disagreement with them, you just flip the switch from you're the good person, now you're the evil person. And as soon as they flip the switch to you're the evil person, then you get destroyed and devalued. Like, that's why you always would hear them rage on you, and then you'll hear them like say all of these negative things about you that they've data mined from you. Especially if they've been with you a long time off and on, then they've data mined you, but they've also had a history with you because you keep going back to them. So they know all of your flaws, and all of your flaws come out in a negative, evil, disheartened way, as if they never cared about you ever. And that's the thing with them. They can never see you as a gray area, like, I'm disappointed in you because you just upset me. But I still know that we have this long-standing history, and you really do care about me, and you do love me, and I love you back. They can't see it like that. And so that's an object constants. The other thing that's kind of object constants is when you're out of their sight, you're out of their mind, so they can cheat on you. I mean, it's kind of like, they're with you. They could hang out with you all weekend, or they could be with you all day. They go, to hang out with their friends or something, and it's almost like you never existed. I mean, their conscience is they don't really have much of a conscience. So with no conscience, is kind of like they're just whatever is in the moment. And that's why a lot of times for a narcissist, it's like whatever they're doing is in the moment. Like, literally, it's not like I'm trying to live moment to moment. I mean, I say that sometimes because it's like live day by day and moment to moment. But, it's like, I mean, they are literally moment to moment, and they have forgotten everything else. I mean, if their mind wants to do something because it's going to be fun, or if they want to go off with somebody else and, do things that are going to be against your relationship, it's like they don't have a conscience. They can just do it, and then they can come home, and it's just as if it never happened. And then, if it does come up, they'll just somehow blame shift it, and then they'll rage out on you, and then devalue and discard you, and then they'll give you the silent treatment because now you injured them. And that's why they always have to have somebody in the background, because they have to have backup, because you can't live with somebody for long that acts like that. So they already know that they have to have two, at least. I mean, if they're really decent at what they do, they want to have at least two people in the background, because the way they run through folks, I mean, it ain't no joke. And if they have to have supply, they cannot be by themselves, because they can't even manage by themselves. A lot of times they're kind of like, they're adolescents. I mean, trying to live in an adult world. And so, And a lot of times it's because they don't think for themselves, and or um so this is kind of what happens, but this also causes tons of confusion if you think about it. If you have if you don't have object constants, then you're going to cause nothing but confusion in your life, and it's going to be completely unstable. Um, so I just wanted to go over that. Um, and so give me a like, a thumbs up, and a subscription. I hope this helps somebody out there today understand a little bit more about how the narcissist thinks. So stand tall every day, all the time, and soldier up. Peace out.